Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2018 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the new album that came out today. Yep, this is the new album, The Outer Ones, by the band Revocation. This was released today through Metal Blade Records. Now, Revocation definitely doesn't need an introduction. They're a technical death metal, thrash, whatever you want to call it, hailing all the way from Massachusetts. These guys have been around since 2000. I discovered Revocation about a couple years ago, and I decided to check out some of their stuff, and I was really dig. I listened to their discography, um, and I really dig with every album they've done. I mean, with each album, they just continue to get better and better. And in my honest opinion, I think Revocation is a hugely underrated band. Like, these guys seriously deserve way more. And right here we are with that band's seventh full-length album. This is a follow-up to their 2016 album, Great Is Our Sin, is what I believe was what it was called. And to this album, I think to top or live up to Great Is Our Sin, in my opinion, I definitely think it has. I mean, Revocation is a band that just never rests. I mean, they just continue to tour a bunch, and they really always pump out new albums like every 18 months. And this is their, like I said, album number 7. And they just never made a bad album, and I don't think they ever will. Well, let's talk about the vocals, like from Dave Davidson. I mean, his vocals just sound really just harsh vocals, like sort of like this harsher singing style. Same thing with his guitar playing, along with their guitar player. I can never remember his name. The bass, just the soloing and shredding that both guitar players do is just superb and just spot on. The bass playing from Brett is pretty audible. You could definitely hear it well in the mix. And the drumming from Ash Pearson is just insanely good. Without further ado, let's just dive into this album track by track. Now, it starts off with Of Unworldly Origin, and it hits you right from the get-go. The guitar distortion and tone throughout the earlier sections feels like faster and darker version of something from, I don't know, like Ascendancy Requiem. But the minute-long solo in the middle is the song that really sort of like drives it to home. And it's a solid opener and a good welcome track for the album. That Which Consumes All Things is next, and it takes that time of just like knocking you away. And there's some interesting like tonal shifts in this track, but it's like the thumping rhythm line that chimes through here, and at times overwhelming in the vocal and melody department, and it still rocks though, and it's going to be immensely big in sort of like the live setting if they were to play the song live. Next song in the album is called Blood Atonement, which has a bit more of a slower and more methodical approach to the drumming. However, though those dissonant harmonies, it creates a very haunting atmosphere. It's a very rhythmic track that is broken up with like an acoustic interlude, transitioning into a barreling midpoint that leads throughout the solo. Solo, which sounds like it might not work well. It's sort of good, but it just does. Fathomless Catacomb follows, and it has almost kind of like a gent feel to it, which is kind of weird, which sort of like adds sort of like guitar flourish, which is sprinkled throughout. It's very classy but harrowing, and the dissonant guitar work helps to sort of accentuate the feeling of unease that the band has undoubtedly trying to channel. Then we go into the title track, The Outer Ones, which feels much more of a harkening back to sort of like classic death metal and heavy blast beats, as sort of like Dave's fierce growls overpowered much of the track. And it has the killer speed incorporated into it, and another impressive solo, but it is definitely one of the more interesting tracks in terms of the tempo changes. And this was followed by, however, the underwhelming Vanitas, which is a decent track, but I just think this one sort of fell into place when combined with sort of like the remainder of the album. It's more than likely a track that will be further appreciated over many repeat listens. However, with the exception of the final minute or so, I feel like it's just lacking the drawing power of any of the relating tracks on the album over here. Now, any doubt that this band might start to falter at this point is quickly quenched by the instrumental of the album called Ex Nihilo, though while the song has more of a lighter tone than sort of like the others on the album, it's still dark and it hits pretty hard. Pairing these qualities, it's sort of like a straightforward structure and makes it enjoyable to listen to, and it's a song that would be absolutely killed to see performed live. And then the album closing doubleheader being Luciferus and A Starless Darkness offers a bit more of a melodic brutality that the band has been serving up throughout this album. while the former sounds as fierce as something from like Behemoth a little bit, while sort of the latter is being more of a slow and more atmospheric type of track. Now, overall, The Outer Ones by Revocation is a really pretty good album. Another good addition to their discography, and closing in with just 50 minutes. It's sort of like gives you a ton of I just love like sort of like the performance of like melodic sessions, and these just songs sort of like gather sort of like the depth from this track, which is something I feel like is missing from like previous songs such as like Deathless and Great Is Our Sin. And the solos feel a lot bit more organic. The melodic undertones to each of the songs have makes them more profoundly stronger and greatly be what makes The Outer Ones its strength. And I just love the quality of the album, as well as Dave's sort of like growth as a vocalist. And I feel like his vocals sort of like improved a lot on this album. So if I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of The Outer Ones, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.